Hey YouTube, it's Mike Peng Gangster, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my Barb bleed build. What I'm going to be using as my Barbarian up to like level 50. I'm going to show you the way I'm going to build it. I'm only going to go with the skill tree. I'm not going to show you like gears and stuff like that because I feel like that's just a bit too much. I feel like it's all of the like you're gonna get gear as you level up, so you're gonna put whatever you need to put. One thing we know for sure is the skill tree are points that you're gonna put directly, so you know exactly the way I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna show you guys. When it comes to like gear and stuff like that, I mean, there's a few things I could show you, but I don't really want to get into this too much. But I'll show you, for example, an important thing for the beat build. For example, it's gonna be this one right here. It's the two-handed sword expertise. Remember that, for example, when you use technique, doesn't mean you have to use a two-handed weapon. It just means that it's going to be part of your build. As you can see, 20% of your direct damage you deal is inflicted as bleeding damage over 5 seconds. Rank 10, you deal 30% increased bleeding damage for 5 seconds after killing an enemy. Okay, so there's things like this that are going to increase your bleed build, right? Of course. So, but we're going to get into the skill tree. So when it comes to the skill tree, of course, if you're going bleed build, you got to go flay. You don't have to go 100% flay. I mean, you could go like you could go other ones, but the thing is that because automatically when you take rent will give bleed to your enemies, right? But for the sake of the bleed build, I am gonna go with what I believe could be the strongest bleed build. Okay, so also in this particular build, it's very important to have survivability and movability. Okay, I feel like later on in the game, if you don't have those aspects to survive and to actually be able to move around and escape, your build just not going to be successful. So it's not only about damage. I do believe that this Diablo is going to be a little bit more challenging when it comes to like um, survivability, because if we look at the, for example, like the boss fights, the mechanics, it looks like there's going to be some sort of skill involved, and not only hack and slash your way through everything, unless somebody figures out a way to basically become a glass cannon and smash everything in one shot, which I wouldn't be surprised if people come out with these type of things. But for the moment, this is what I'm gonna be doing with my bleed build. So we're gonna be putting 5 points into flay. We're also going to be using, well, we have no choice to take this one, because if you want to go to the next one, you have to take this one. So of course, if people don't know the build, flay has 10% chance of making enemies vulnerable. Of course, vulnerable means that you do more damage to them. Of course, if you're using a two-handed weapon, it doubles the chance. Okay, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. When flay deals direct damage to enemies, they take 10% increased damage for the next 3 seconds. Okay, so this is the one that I'm choosing. The other one is basically damage reduction. Okay, so I'm gonna go with damage because I'm gonna have other things that are gonna give me survivability. So when it comes to flay, 5 points, 1 and 1. That's the way it starts off. Then of course we are gonna go into rent. Now rent is cleave the enemies in front of you. So it's like basically a little AOE hit. All enemies are in front of you. Um, in front of you, dealing 12% damage and inflicting 90% bleeding damage over 5 seconds. So again, we are going to go 5 out of 5. I mean, look, you got to use all your points here. So we're going to go 5 out of 5 on rent. Again, we have no choice to take this, but it is a good one because basically dealing direct damage with rent extends your duration of vulnerable on enemies for 2 seconds. Again, vulnerable makes them take more damage, so it's a very good thing. Again, we are going to use this one right here where it says rent deals 12% increased damage on vulnerable enemies. Now the other one is direct damage with rent. My god, rent grants you 4 fury per enemy hit, up to 20 fury. So this is also very very good if you're lacking fury. Now in the build, you're going to see we're going to have a way to get fury back. That's why I'm going with the damage here. So for the first two skills, we're just trying to basically maximize our bleeding damage. Um, so for example, we're not going to be using that one. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, the lucky hit one. So your core skill up to 10% chance to make enemies vulnerable for 2 seconds. We're going to be using 3 out of 3 over here, so it gives us 30% chance to make the enemies vulnerable. Again, it's gonna go with this, right? So again, so that's the way the build starts. Then we're gonna go to our first survivability skill, and it's gonna be challenging shout, And the reason why this is important, and we're gonna go also 5 out of 5, it's the damage reduction for 6 seconds. Also, this will also be something that will give us fury back, as you're gonna see as the build goes. While challenging shouts is active, gain 20% bonus life. That's good. And also, is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah. While challenging shout is active, you gain 3 fury for each time you take damage. Okay. So, as you can see, this lasts 6 seconds. For the next 6 seconds, every time you're taking damage, you are getting 3 fury for each time you take damage. Now, I imagine when there's a lot of enemies hitting you, this could actually benefit you big time when it comes to fury. We're gonna see. We're gonna test it out. Of course, we haven't, we haven't done the build yet because we only played around with it a little bit in beta, but it was working pretty properly. So I imagine that as we get to level 50, because we only played to level 25 in the beta, this could be very, very, very good to get your fury back. Okay, we actually are gonna put 1 point into Torn, and also 1 point into Tough of Nails. When enemy hit you, you take an additional 10% of your torrent as bleeding damage over 5 seconds. Okay. But the one that we're going to take is this one right here. So this is survivability. I do believe that when it comes down to the end game, you're going to need life and you're going to need damage reduction. So 3 and 3 over here. How important is survivability going to be in the end game of Diablo 4? I think it's going to be a lot more important than people think. And of course the Paragon system is going to be also extremely important, how to basically how your the way your character evolves, right? Okay, so that is that over there. Then we need to be able to move. So movability is good for 2 things. 1, for survivability. 2, to basically as a barbarian, it kind of is annoying when an enemy is like moving and bouncing around everywhere. So this gives you that extra movability to basically get to that enemy quicker. Of course, you have the dodge also in the system, in the game mechanics, but you get an extra 1 here with charge. So when you're going to put 1 point into charge, we just basically need this to basically get to the enemy, right? Or basically escape. So also you have no choice to take that. You don't have no choice to take this, but we are going to take 1 point over here. This will basically knock back some enemies and basically stun them for 3 seconds or 15% damage or whatever. Like, we'll see what that happens. So again, this is going to be based on the vulnerable aspect of the bleeding build. Damaging enemies with charge makes them vulnerable for 2 seconds. So again, whenever an enemy is vulnerable, they take more damage, so that's always good. Okay. Then we're going to be going into Rupture. Again, when it comes to Rupture, so basically this is a thing that basically rips the weapon out of the enemy, damage them for the total bleeding amount, removing all bleeding damage from them. Okay. So I don't know how much damage this is going to do, but I imagine it's going to be a big spike of damage. Again, we are going to take this because you have no choice to get over here. So this is ripping your weapon out of an enemy. Rupture causes an explosion that deals 30% bleeding damage over 5 seconds. And then, which one was it? I think it was this one right here. Yeah, this one right here. Hitting at least one enemy with Rupture heals you for 15% maximum life. So this, not only that it will do damage, it will also give you some life back, some survivability, which is, I think, very, very important. Okay. Now, we are going to get into this, but before we do get into this, I'm not exactly sure how many points I was putting in here, but we are going to be putting points in here. But first, let's go to the ultimate skill. Okay, we'll get back to this one because I'm not exactly sure how many I had put in, but we have 20 points left. But I think I put in 3 out of 3, but I'm not exactly sure. Anyways, the ultimate that I'm going to be using is Rat of the Berserk. Now, the reason why I'm using this, I just feel like it's going to be very, very good. The fact that also it gives you the Berserker, and it also gives you Unstoppable for 5 seconds. I just feel like it's very, very good. Also, while Wrath of the Berserker is active, you gain 20% increased movement speed, like I said, and you also gain Fury Generation by 30%. So again, when you activate this every 60 seconds, every minute, you are going to gain some Fury back, and you're also going to be, doing a lot of damage and also movability. So I think that's good all around. While Wrath of the Berserk is active, every 50 Fury you spend increases your Berserk damage bonus by 25%. So that's pretty good. And of course, if you're going as a bleeding build, you're going to be picking the gushing wounds, which causes enemies to bleed. You have a chance to equal the critical strike chance. Critical strike chance to increase the bleed amount up to 100% of your critical strike damage bonus. Again, a lot of this stuff is going to be based on, you know, your gear, your paragon, stuff like that, of how much damage you're actually going to be doing with this particular skill or this passive, right? So at this point, we still have 16 points left. Again, we were going to go into your bleeding effect, slows enemies. Why not? I think this is very, very good. And also, your bleeding effect deals 6% increased damage to vulnerable. So here, we're definitely going to be putting 3. We could put 3 out of 3 here, but we'll come back because I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to put 3 out of 3 here, because now we should have 12 points left. Was it this one? Increase your maximum fury by 3. Okay, this is the one. No, it's not that one. So yeah, so I like this one. Increase your maximum fury by 3. Then each time you swap weapons, you gain 2 furies. Okay. Now, I think fury is going to be very important. So I am going to put 3 out of 3 over here. And of course, as you're damaging enemies and doing skills, you're going to be swapping weapons and you'll be getting fury back. So again, like I said, the build has, you know, like damage, survivability, and fury gain, right? And movability. All that stuff is in this build. So I think this is going to be a very, very good build. Again, we still have some points left. As you can see, we have 6 points left. There's one, where's the one? Is it this one? There's something missing here. There's something missing here. Where is it? There is something that I wanted to do, but now I'm confused. Oh, right here. Sorry, that's it. The booming voice. So your shout skill affects duration or increase. So I think this is going to be very important. The reason why this is going to be very important because when it comes to shout, you have 6%, 6 seconds that it's active. Of course, with an extra 24%, it's going to be active a little bit longer. But it also is going to give you more time to get fury back because enemies are going to be hitting you and you're going to be fury back, right? Now, there's 2 things over here. Now, I think your shot skill causes enemy to do 4% less damage, or your shot skill heals your allies for 1%. I don't think none of them are good, but your shot skill causes enemies to deal 4% less damage. Again, I think this is good. We're going to put 3 out of 3 here because I just feel like survivability is going to be very important later on in the game for you not to basically get one-shotted. So that's the way the build looks like. It's going to be, and now you don't have to go 100% exactly the way I did it, but this is the way I decided to spend my my 50 points or 60 points, whatever the case may be. I think this is a pretty good, strong build. I think it has everything that you need to survive, to do damage, and to get fury back and movability. You have everything in this build. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Of course, later on in the game, depending on the gear you get and stuff like that, the way your stats are gonna look, the Paragon level is gonna be determined how strong your class is actually gonna get. Because I feel like this year, when it comes to Paragon level, for the Diablo, this is going to be something that's going to be what makes or breaks every build in the game. Because but a lot of it is going to be very unique to your build, not only your build, like to your character builds and the fact what type of stats you get on your gear and stuff like that. Because there are certain things in the Paragon system that are going to be hard to basically match every person exactly the same, because not everybody's going to have the same like stats and stuff like that when it comes to like what the roll under items and stuff like that. Just to give you an example, like this legendary note here, it says that you need 200 strength and 160 willpower, right? So later on in the notes, in basically the Paragon level, you're gonna be needing more and more and more and more. So there could be a very, very big difference between you and your friend, even if you're playing the same bleed build. It doesn't mean you guys are gonna have exactly the same Paragon needed to be able to basically do the exact same thing, if that makes any sense. I don't know. So hopefully you guys enjoy. When I will be starting the game, of course I have the early access. I will be doing a little Barbarian to Glory. So of course it's gonna be my Barbarian, and it's basically gonna be like a journey of me, like episodes of me playing my Barbarian, leveling up, gearing up, getting to the end game, and seeing how powerful I get. So hopefully you guys are gonna enjoy that series when it comes out. Of course, it won't come out before the game comes out, but how many episodes would I upload per week? I'm not exactly sure, but I'll try to upload, like maybe a couple episodes every week so you guys can see the journey of the Barbarian to Glory. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys do get to play the Barbarian when the game comes out, and if you guys are going to try this particular bleed build. Of course, I didn't show the Paragon levels, I didn't show you the gear, but I just went with the direct skill tree, and that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I do apologize if the video was a bit longer, but sometimes you have to basically make videos a bit longer so people can actually really get an understanding of what's happening with the build and all that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next one. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.